Hey everyone, welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, RingsideNews.com. Things are starting to heat up here in the month of June. It's currently, as I record this, 100 degrees outside here in Los Angeles. And things are also heating up in the worlds of WWE and UFC. Brock Lesnar is officially getting back into the octagon. I have gotten so many questions about this, people asking for my thoughts. First off, let me just say that I'm happy for Brock Lesnar. He is very passionate about fighting, and this is something that he has wanted to do. He has wanted to get back into the octagon and prove that he can still fight. He has unfinished business. He wants to get back there in the octagon and show everyone that he is still the beast, not just in WWE, but in the world of MMA fighting. I think it's good for him. Will he succeed or not? That remains to be seen. There are several factors. Who will his opponent be? At this point, nobody has been confirmed, but we should know something possibly by Monday night. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest on that. And I think that health-wise, he's definitely in better shape from what I've heard than he was at the end of his UFC run. He's also several years older, so that is another question mark. He's pushing 40 now. Who knows how well he'll be able to perform inside the octagon. But I'm very happy for the guy. Now let's get to your questions here regarding Lesnar and other topics. First one today comes from Mr. DCD. Hey Aaron, with the big news that Brock is fighting at UFC 200, can we assume that either Ronda Rousey or Conor McGregor will be in a WWE ring? This is all very interesting because for WWE to allow this to happen, one would think that WWE is getting something in return. Brock Lesnar is a marquee WWE star, and let's face it, even if he wins in his comeback fight, he could still get injured. WWE is planning to have Brock Lesnar in a match at SummerSlam, and if Brock gets hurt, if he suffers a concussion or he gets injured in some other way, that could jeopardize WWE's SummerSlam match with Brock Lesnar. That could be money down the drain for WWE. They're taking a risk by allowing Brock Lesnar to compete at UFC. Now maybe WWE will be getting something in return. Maybe WWE is just doing this to build a strong relationship with UFC, so maybe Dana White and the people in charge at UFC will agree to allow Ronda Rousey or Conor McGregor to compete in a WWE match. We all know the speculation about Ronda Rousey last year that she was going to get involved in maybe a mixed tag team match or face Stephanie one-on-one. And Dana White made it clear that Ronda Rousey was not going to do a WWE match. So maybe by allowing Brock to compete at UFC 200, Dana White will allow that to happen, allow Ronda to do a WWE match, or even Conor McGregor. There's been a lot of speculation about Conor doing a WWE match. So time will tell if WWE is getting something out of this or not. This one comes from Matt Big. Do you see The Rock versus Brock at WrestleMania 33? That is a possibility, but I think it depends on not just Brock's health and his well-being, but also The Rock's schedule. We all know that The Rock is a very busy man with various projects, and it's a big question mark if he will be busy or not come WrestleMania 33. I think if The Rock's schedule is free and Brock is doing well health-wise, coming off of the fight, and there's no serious injuries or anything like that, I could definitely see that match taking place at WrestleMania 33. I think that that's something that The Rock has wanted to do. That was originally scheduled for, I believe, WrestleMania 30, but then The Rock got hurt during his match with Cena at WrestleMania 29, and plans had to change. It's all a big question mark, but I think if the stars align and both guys are free and healthy, it's certainly a strong possibility. This one comes from Forged Joker. Hey Aaron, now that Brock is returning to UFC 200 and Goldberg is on the 2K scene, will we get to see Brock versus Goldberg v 2.0? That's another possibility for WrestleMania. If The Rock's not available, maybe WWE could do Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. When I look at potential Goldberg opponents, even though Brock Lesnar and Goldberg from WrestleMania 20 did not light the world on fire, I think that if they were to have another match in 2016 or 2017, I think the fans would react in a more positive way to that match. The thing is, at WrestleMania 20, all those fans in MSG knew that both guys were leaving, and the fans crapped on the match before they even had a chance to lock up. I mean, that is how negative the fans were going into that match. But I think in 2017, with Brock Lesnar's performances in WWE as of late, and Goldberg being an all-time legend, I think the fans would be more positive if those two were to step foot in a WWE ring again and have a match. This one comes from Ben Jarman. What are your thoughts on Goldberg getting back in the ring, and who would you have him face? With Goldberg, it's been so long since fans have seen him that I think he would get a big reaction in a WWE comeback match. If he was sticking around more than one match, or if he won the WWE title, you might start to see some resentment from fans. But with the nostalgia factor, I think one match Goldberg would do very well, and against the right opponent, Goldberg could have a memorable match in WWE and end his career on a high note, and he could go out there and his son could see him perform. As far as who he should face, I mentioned Brock Lesnar earlier. If not Brock Lesnar, then I think a current top WWE star, either John Cena or Roman Reigns, Battle of the Spears. One of those three guys I think would be most fitting for Goldberg. You want to have Goldberg against another strong, muscular guy, the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Goldberg versus AJ Styles doesn't really work. So you want to have Goldberg against a guy who matches him size and strength-wise. This one comes from David. Can you see Muhammad Ali and China in the WWE Hall of Fame next year? I definitely see both of them going in at some point. Maybe next year. I think it sucks that both of them are being inducted after their deaths. That's unfortunate. Muhammad Ali, as far as celebrities go, I like the idea of him going into the Hall of Fame, not just for his appearance at WrestleMania 1 as the special enforcer, but also his relationships with various people in the wrestling industry over the years. He had a confrontation with Gorilla Monsoon. WWE recently posted it on their YouTube channel. And of course, his famous wrestler versus boxer match, Muhammad Ali against Antonio Inoki. I think it was also 1976, the same year that he had the confrontation with Monsoon. And then, of course, the stuff that Muhammad Ali did with WCW in the mid-90s and making the appearance at Halloween Havoc. Muhammad Ali had quite a history with people in wrestling and definitely had ties to the wrestling business. I would definitely like to see him go in at some point, and I very well could see it happening next year at WrestleMania 33 weekend. Got this one here from Tim White. Hey Aaron, first time asker. What are your thoughts on Sean Waltman going into the Hall of Fame? And what are your favorite Kid 6 X-Pac matches? I would definitely enjoy the idea of Sean Waltman going into the Hall of Fame. I feel that he made enough of a difference in the wrestling business. He was a big star in the mid-90s, first as the 1-2-3 Kid, and then he went to WCW and was one of the founding members of the NWO. He was member number 6, and he had one of the best-selling t-shirts in the company. Some people wrote him off, namely Eric Bischoff, but then he went back to WWE, and he made a difference, in my opinion. When he came out there right after WrestleMania 14 and did that promo, to me, that really felt like a turning point, and I think a lot of fans watching felt the same way. Sean Waltman going out there and ripping into Hogan and Bischoff, it made WWE seem cool, and I think that definitely helped the company. He then went on to be part of DX, of course, and had his run as one of the top members of that group. I feel he had a Hall of Fame worthy career, even though he was never world champion. And as far as some of my favorite matches, the match with Bret Hart, he did compete for the WWE title. They had a hell of a match in '94. Might have been non-title, I'm not sure exactly, but I remember that match being really good. And he had a good match with Eddie Guerrero. He had several good cruiserweight matches in WCW. And then when he came back, of course, he had a lot of good matches with Triple H and various other people. I definitely feel that X-Pac, Six-Pac, Sean Waltman should go into the Hall of Fame. I would love to see it happen. Got this one here from Sean T. Flick. Your thoughts on a triple threat match at NXT Brooklyn for the Women's Championship between Nia Jax, Asuka, and Bayley? I would be fine with that. It's hard to say what's going to happen with Asuka and Bayley in particular. I'm expecting Bayley to debut on the main roster sooner than later. And that could be a way where you have Bayley not take the fall by doing a triple threat match. You could have Nia Jax take the fall, or you can have Nia Jax win the women's title and have Asuka chase it for a while, since Asuka's a babyface now. That could be a possible direction. But yeah, I think that by doing a triple threat match, you could protect somebody like Bayley if she's moving up to the main roster, having her not take the fall in that match before she goes up. Or you could just have her put over somebody on the way out. I'm really fine with whatever they do. I'm fine with a one-on-one match or a triple threat match. Whatever they do, I think will be really good. Got this one here from Aaron Rift Guy. Hey Aaron, what do you think about John Cena and Finn Balor starting a tag team to go against the club? I think it's interesting. I like the idea because I think there's more value in Finn Balor as a babyface, and you could do a storyline where the club tries to recruit him into the group and he turns it down, he rebels, and he teams up with John Cena. That gives John Cena some assistance, and I like that better than John Cena just taking on the club by himself and John Cena just being able to beat up all three guys. And that's what I fear. I fear that Cena will get the best of all three guys. I like the idea of Cena being unable to handle the three guys and he needs some help. And that's where Finn Balor comes into the picture and helps out John Cena, and you get Finn Balor over and maybe even get John Cena over by association with Finn Balor. I really like the idea. Got this one here from Dave Lesnar. Do you think Goldberg would work as a babyface in today's WWE? I only ask because Batista came back and got crapped on. Three things. Number one, going back to earlier, I am fairly confident that because of the nostalgia factor, Goldberg will get cheered when he returns. If he wears out his welcome, then there could be a potential backlash. Number two, as long as WWE is smart about how they handle Goldberg, there shouldn't be any problems. If they bring back Goldberg, have him win the Royal Rumble, and the popular babyface doesn't win the Rumble, then you could have a problem. So, being smart is a factor here as well. And the third thing is Goldberg as a heel does not work. Exhibit A, and the only exhibit you really need, WCW 2000, when Goldberg turned heel. It flopped miserably. Goldberg is a guy that fans want to see come out and beat people up and just be Goldberg. Goldberg being a heel is a terrible idea, and it would not work. This one comes from Wrestle Astas Vegan SA. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that username. Does losing at Wrestle Kingdom 10, WrestleMania 32, and 2 championship matches in a 5-month span a bad thing for AJ Styles, or is it a non-issue? Losing at Wrestle Kingdom 10 is a non-issue because WWE doesn't really bring it up. In fact, I doubt they've ever brought it up. They do mention AJ Styles being from New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that's as much as they mention on television. Losing at WrestleMania 32, that was a little bit of a bad decision in my opinion, just because people tend to remember WrestleMania more than the B pay-per-views. But AJ Styles was in 2 main event matches for the WWE title. He's been in a high-profile position since he debuted with the company. I think he's doing just fine right now. And hopefully he comes out of this John Cena feud stronger than he was going in. And again, that will have to do with how WWE books him in this feud with Cena. If AJ Styles gets a good rub off of Cena and maybe even beats him once or maybe even twice preferably, then AJ Styles could be on his way to being a long-lasting main event star in WWE, and I'm sure the quality of the matches will help him. It's just a matter of WWE getting it right with the booking of him. This one comes from Nathan. Hey Aaron, do you think that Chyna isn't just Hall of Fame worthy, but Hall of Fame headliner worthy? WWE won't, but does she deserve it? I mentioned earlier that she does deserve to go into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't say she's headliner material. And the thing is, WWE isn't going to do it one way or another because she has passed away. Even a couple years ago, Randy Savage was advertised as the headliner, but as it turns out, Kevin Nash was the guy that went on last. WWE will want to end the Hall of Fame with a living personality. But just looking at her career, I mean, I think that there are people that are better suited to be headliners, people that were actually WWE champion that had 20 plus year runs with the company. Those are the guys that should be headlining the Hall of Fame, guys that were main event superstars on top for several years that really made an impact on the business. And yes, Chyna did make an impact, but I wouldn't say that she's made the kind of impact that past Hall of Famers like Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair or Steve Austin have made. That'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ, and also subscribe to my personal channel at youtube.com/AaronRift. I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.